Good morning, friends. Today we're going to talk about ants and those little itty bitty bugs that you see outside all the time. Sometimes you even see them in your house. They like to try to come into my kitchen, but they don't make it very far. We're going to start though first with our exercise. So everybody's going to stand up and make sure that you have enough room around you that you don't hit anybody, any of your siblings or mom or dad or dogs. We don't want to hurt anybody while we're doing our exercise. So put your hands out, make sure you're not going to hit anything, and then you're going to take your right hand and you're going to hit your left knee, and then you're going to take your left hand and hit your right. Remember, when we crisscross, that's when we wake up our brain, okay? And we're going to count to 20. So put your arms out. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Good job, friends. Go ahead and have a seat. We're going to read about ants today. So, an ant, I also have this pretty picture over here. The life cycle of an ant. We've talked about ants, or life cycles, with all of our insects that we've talked about. They start as an adult, they lay eggs, and then they have a larva, and then they turn into a pupa. And then it starts all over again in a big circle. That's why the life cycle papers always look like a circle, because they do it over and over again. The next adult will lay more eggs, and it just goes around and around and around. Our first story that we're going to read is called Hey Little Ant. And this one is just a silly story. It's a silly one. But this little kid, this is his glasses. Look at how little this ant is to his glasses. So little ants, they are little. They're both relaxing outside. He's laying on a leaf. He's just laying on some grass. Hey Little Ant by Philip and Hannah Hoos. The kid yells, "Hey little ant down in the crack, can you hear me? Can you talk back? You see my shoe? Can you see that? Well, now it's going to squish you flat." Ooh, the kid wants to squish him flat. But the ant says, "Please, oh please, do not squish me. Change your mind and let me be. I'm on my way with a crumb of pie. Please, oh please, don't make me die." He's eating pie. The kid says, "Anyone knows that ants can't feel. You're so tiny, you don't look real. I'm so big and you're so small. I don't think it'll hurt at all." Ooh, he doesn't think it's going to hurt at all. The ant says, "But you are a giant, and giants can't know how it feels to be an ant. Come down close. I think you'll see that you are very much like me." I wonder, how are we like an ant? The kid says, "Are you crazy? Me like you? I have a home and a family too. You're just a speck that runs around. No one would care if my foot came down." The ant says, "Oh, my big friend, you are so wrong. My nestmates need me 'cause I am strong. I dig our nest and feed baby ants too. I must not die beneath your shoe." He's feeding all of his friends. The kid says, "But my mom says the ants are rude. They carry off our picnic food. They steal our chips and breadcrumbs too. It's good if I squish a crook like you. The ant, hey, I'm not a crook, kid, read my lips. Sometimes ants need crumbs and chips. One little chip can feed my whole town, so please don't make your shoe come down. One little chip, that's all they need. The kid says, but all my friends squish ants each day. Squishing ants is a game that we play. They're looking at me, they're listening too. They all say I should squish you. Oh, his friends want him to squish the ant. The ant says, I can see you're big and strong. Decide for yourself what's right and wrong. If you were me and I were you, what would you want me to do? Ooh, if I was the ant size, would I want an ant to step on me? Should the ant get squished? Should the ant go free? It's up to the kid, not up to me. We'll leave the kid with the raised up shoe. What do you think the kid should do? And that's the end. Do you think the kid should step on the ant? Or do you think that the ant should get to go home to his family and help feed his family? That's an interesting question, isn't it? I think that the ant should get to go home and feed his family. They're creatures too, just like you and me. There's a little bit of glare on here, so I'm going to move it. Maybe that'll help a little bit. We're going to count some ants today. I think you can see it fairly well. So I'm going to point to a sticker and we're going to see what number, how many ants are on there so we can put the right number on top. Except I'm throwing the number, so that's not going to work very well, is it? It's a number 1. So, friends, and I'm going to play it tricky today because I did not put them in order. So you can't just say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because Miss Candice didn't do that today. I mixed them up a little bit. So you have to really count the dots that you see on your screen. They're little ants, but they kind of look like dots because they're so little, okay? So this first one is kind of an easy one. How many ants are on that green picture right there? There is 1. 1 ant. 1 ant. So now we're going to move over here. How many ants are on this one? 1, 2, 3. There's 3 ants on that one. So I'm going to grab my 3. Cover that one up. Because we did that one. How many is on this one, friends? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 ants on my green sticker. Now we're going to move to the next one. How many do you think is on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 ants on this green sticker. So I'm going to find my 7. Is this a 7? You're right. It is a 7. Now the last one on the top row, how many are on this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 ants on that sticker. So now we're going to come over here. How many are on this one? 1, 2. Two ants on that sticker. How many ants are on this one? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 ants. When you're counting, friends, sometimes it's easier to count if you point to each one before you move on to the next one. So if you have however many here, you can go, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. That way, we don't count the same one 2 times. We've got 2 more to go, friends. You guys are doing awesome. Let's see how many are on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 ants on my green paper. Our last one, friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I have a 10 in my hand. So we must have done them all right. Now when you get bigger, you might know this. You might not. You might learn it when you're a little bit bigger. But these numbers, 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, these are all odd numbers. And 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 is even numbers. So if you count by 2s, you're counting the even numbers, and you're going to say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So that's just a fun fact right there. These are all odd numbers. These are all even numbers. And you guys did an awesome job counting all of my ants. You did them all. Good job. So now we're going to talk a little bit about what makes an insect. What makes an insect? We've been talking about insects for a couple of weeks, friends. And all of our insects have these things. What do you remember what these little things off of their head are called? Let's see. Our ladybug had these. Our bee had these. Does anybody remember what those are called? Somebody is right. They are called an antenna. So I'm going to write that on this paper real quick. And then we have, what is this? He's smiling at us. What is this called? That's right. That is his head. I think I can write head upside down maybe. It's not very pretty, but it's there. Okay. So all of them have an antenna. They all have a head. And they all have these things. What are these? These things. We have these too. These are legs. Legs. Now, this middle part. I don't know if we've talked about this middle part yet. This is a thorax. There's a song that I know that says, head, the thorax, abdomen. So that's what I was singing in my head. This is called a thorax. And then that means head, thorax, abdomen. That means this one right here is called the abdomen. I don't think I can write that one upside down. So now we have an antenna and a head and legs. We have a head and legs too, don't we? A thorax and an abdomen. Those are on our ants too. Our ants have 3 little sections to them, just like this one, 3 sections to them. It's always interesting to see how all of these creatures were made. They all have such wonderful things. Wonderful, wonderful. Our next book is called We're Going to Look Inside an Ant Nest. So ant nests are usually outside. They're not usually inside. But they're really neat to see, unless you have one of those little homemade kits where you can make a little ant nest in your house. They're usually outside. And this is where a lot of different ants will live. They'll live in an ant nest. So we're going to learn a little bit about what does an ant nest look like? What do the ants do in the ant nest? So let's read and find out. This is by Megan Peterson. Look inside an ant nest. Ooh, that's a nice close-up picture. When I look outside, I don't see this. I just see a little hill, kind of like what's on here. It's just a little hill if they have a really big ant nest. But this is a special close-up picture of what it looks like inside of an ant nest. Most ant colonies live in nests all year long. One nest might hold hundreds, thousands, or even millions of ants. That is a lot of ants. Building an ant nest. Worker ants build nests almost everywhere on Earth. They build nests in woods or in soil. Some ants build nests out of leaves and silk. Have you ever seen ants in like a tree log before? Sometimes they like to live there. Many ant nests take weeks or months to build. Worker ants will first dig the tunnels. They'll dig all these little tunnels under the ground or inside the trees. The worker ants will build chambers like a little room. Little rooms for all of the ants. Some nests have only a few chambers, but other nests can have 1,000 different rooms or chambers. That's hard work for that little ant to make all of that. Look at this anthill. I've never seen one that big. But some ant pile soil and twigs on top of the nest. They dig tunnels and rooms inside of the pile. Some piles can reach 5 feet tall. That's almost as tall as Miss Candice. That is only 5 inches shorter than Miss Candice. That is a huge ant pile. Look at these ants. A small opening lets ants into the nest. Just a real little hole, that's all they need to get in there. And the guard ants will help keep out enemies. The guard ants can even sting or bite or spray poison to protect their nest. The queen ant, she's going to be the biggest ant. The queen ant lays eggs in some of the chambers. The queen lays up to 1,000 eggs in a single day. Just one day, she can lay 1,000 eggs. Worker ants will take care of the eggs and the young, all those young little ants. Worker ants store food in some chambers. Ants eat seeds, nectar, and other insects. Some ants grow fungi inside their nest for food. So this is the fungi that this one is growing. And then they can eat that. In the spring or the summertime, a young queen ant starts a new colony. She lays eggs. The eggs hatch, and young worker ants build a new nest. These are all of the eggs. It's a nice close-up picture. They're not really that big. It looks kind of big in the book. But these are the eggs that she's laying, and when they hatch, they're going to have a new nest to go into. And that's the end of that story. So now we're going to do some sorting. We're going to sort some ants. These are all of my different sizes of ants here. They're all kind of mixed up a little bit, but they're all different colors. So Miss Candice is going to have you yell out what color ant you think goes next, right next to my blue one. This blue one is my littlest ant. He's really small. Which ant color do you think is going to be the next littlest? So it's not the littlest, but it's going to be the one that's just a little bit bigger than this one. Is it the yellow one? Is it the red one? The purple one? The orange one? The pink one? Or the brown? This one's brown. You're right, it's the brown one. The brown one is the next littlest one. So we've got very, very little, and then we've got little. Which one goes next? Is it going to be the pink one? The brown one? The purple one? The red one? Or the yellow one? Which one would go next? You guys are right. It's the red one. Ooh, okay, so we're starting to get them a little bit bigger each time. We're going from littlest to biggest. We have blue, brown, and red. Which one is the next littlest? This one gets just a little tricky because some of them look about the same size, don't they? So let's see. It's not going to be the purple one, is it? Do you think it's going to be the purple one? No. Let's put these two close together here. And then we'll put the pink one close together here too. Which one is going to go after our red one? Blue, brown, red. Which one of these is the next smallest one? Good job, friends. It's the yellow one. The yellow one is just a little smaller than the next one. So which one comes next? Forgot to put that in my mailbox. We have blue, brown, red, yellow. Is the orange one or the pink one going to be the next one? That's right. If you said orange, you were right. Orange. And then which one comes next? We've got the pink one and the purple one left. Which one is the smaller one? The pink one. And then the purple is the biggest one. So you guys just help me make this go from littlest to biggest. Awesome job, friends. Good job. Now we are going to sing a song, and you're going to stand up for this one because you're going to march your feet. When we're done with this song, we're going to go over to our craft. So make sure you have all of your supplies handy for when we're finished with our song, okay? All right, friends. So go ahead and get your marching feet ready because when ants are building their stuff all together, they are marching all together. They work together as a team to get the food. So we're going to sing The Ants Go Marching One by One. Do you know that one? Maybe, maybe not. Let's see, okay? We're going to sing it together. The ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching one by one, 'cause marching is a lot of fun. And they all go marching one by one by one. Good job, friends. Now we're going to do two ants. The ants go marching two by two, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching two by two, hurrah, hurrah. Worker ants have lots to do. It's fun for me and you, and they all go marching down to the ground in the rain. Yay! Good job! All right, friends, we are going to go to our craft now. So make sure if you're going to do it on the floor, you have all your supplies out in front of you. If you're going to do it on a table, now is a good time to move over to your table and get all of your craft supplies ready, okay? Okay, friends, today we're going to make our little ant puppet. This is my little ant puppet. And I can make him talk or move or play, whatever I want him to do. But I'm going to show you how to do it. So you should have your glue stick, your scissors, some black paper, some black pipe cleaners, a white crayon, a popsicle stick, and if you have googly eyes at home, you can get some googly eyes. If you don't have googly eyes, you can just use your white crayon to draw some eyes on your ant later. I used googly eyes because I have some here at the library. So first, we're going to make our ant's body. So we need a head and a thorax and an abdomen. So you're going to grab your scissors and your black paper, and we're going to cut 3 circles out to make his head, his thorax, and his abdomen. Remember, when you're using your scissors, you got to give a thumbs up. Your thumb goes on the top when you open and shut. Open and shut, okay? If we cut like this, that's just harder to cut. So we got to keep our thumbs up. And then you're going to take your paper. And remember, it's a little easier if you turn your paper in a circle instead of moving your hand in a circle, because then you're going to end up like this. And it's harder to cut then too. So use your open and shut hands and make a circle. Parents, remember, if I go too fast, you can pause the video at any time and go at the right speed for your child. Everyone is different. So there's one circle. We're going to do 3 circles. And they don't have to be the same size either. One is just a little bit bigger than this one, and that's okay. There are just 2 black circles. And there's my 3rd circle. So I have 3 circles for my ant. When I'm done with my circles, I also have, does anybody remember what these are called on the top of the ant? The antennas. So you're going to take what's left of your black paper and you can just make 2 antennas. And that's just a line, and then you can cut it to the side like this. It's kind of like a rectangle. Just a line, and then you cut it out to make a rectangle. So we need two antennas to go onto our ant. And then this black piece of paper, we're finished with that for now. You can use what's left for a different craft if you have one at home that you want to try at home. Now we're going to try to put our ant's body together. So you're going to grab your circles, and I'm going to stack them how I want them. So I'm going to put my biggest one that I cut on the bottom, and then I'm going to put my smallest one on the top. Okay, and that just lets me see, yep, that looks like my ant body. So now I'm going to take just my big one, just my bottom, and I'm going to put just a little bit of glue right here at the very top of it, just at the top, like this. So there's only glue on the very top of my black ant. And then I'm going to put the middle circle right on top of that glue and hold it down for just a couple seconds. I'll count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. Now we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to put just a little bit of glue right here at the very top. And then I'm going to put my very last circle on top of the glue. And then I'm going to hold it for about 5 seconds again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now your ant should look like this. It's just got 3 body parts: the head, thorax, abdomen. Okay. Now, your antennas. You should have 2 antennas that we're going to stick on the back of the head of your ant. So we're going to turn our ant over and put just a little bit of glue right here so that we can put our antenna on it. And we're going to do that 2 times because we have 2 antennas. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on there. And then I'm going to put my antenna on. And then I'm going to put some glue on this side. And put my antenna on there. And I'm going to push those down for about 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now your ant will look like this. Kind of looks like when you make rabbit ears with your hands, doesn't it? A little bit right now. So now, if you have googly eyes at home, you can use your googly eyes. If you don't have googly eyes, you can use your white crayon to make some eyes on your ant. And is my ant's eyes going to go on his abdomen down here? Or on his thorax right here? Or are his eyes going to go up here on his head? You're right, friends. It goes up here on his head, just like ours. We have eyes on our head too, don't we? So go ahead and glue your 2 eyes on your ant head. And count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then glue your other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, good job, friends. So now it looks like this. Now, I made a nice happy face on this one because he's out trying to take people's food and take it home to feed his family. So I'm going to draw a smile face on this one too. They can be a happy family. So now my ant looks like this. But my ant is still missing something. We have the antennas and the head and the thorax and the abdomen. What else does our ant have that we have too? Antennas, head, thorax, abdomen. It is missing legs. It's missing legs right here. So you should have some black pipe cleaners at home. Now, if you take your black pipe cleaner, that's a little bit of a tongue twister, and you cut it in half or even thirds, depending on how long you want your hands to be. So I'm going to cut it in half first. If you want your legs to be this long, you can cut it in half. If you want your hands to be a little bit smaller, you can cut it into 3 parts to make 3 legs. Now, how many legs do you think an ant has? There's my 3 pieces for that one. An ant has 6 legs, and most insects do have 6 legs. That rhymes, but it wasn't the right word Miss Candice was saying. So we have 6 legs that we're going to put onto our ant. To do this, you're going to turn your ant over so that the eyes are on the table or on the floor, wherever you're doing your craft. And you're going to put some glue on the back of your ant. And you're going to put 3 pipe cleaners on one side and 3 on the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 altogether. There's 3 on this side and 3 on this side. Okay? Remember, pipe cleaners don't like to stick sometimes on the very first try. So sometimes you have to try again to get them to stick. Okay, so sometimes you even have to add a little bit more glue and hold it down for about 10 seconds. But go ahead and put 3, you're going to put 3 on this side and 3 on this side. Okay, so I have 1 on right now. Here's my second one. My third one. So now I have 3 on this side, but none on this side yet. I still have to do this side, huh? Just make sure you press them down really hard with your fingers to get them to stick on there. And then you're going to take your other 3 and you're going to put them on the other side. See, some of mine are coming off too, so I've got to re-glue it. That's okay. So now I have, well, my legs are coming off again. Let me push them down for a little bit longer. I have 3 and 3. 3 and 3. And then the only thing left to do is put your popsicle stick, if you want it to be a puppet like this, where you can hold it down here. You take your popsicle stick and you're going to glue it to the bottom on the back. So you're going to keep it to where the eyes are down on the table and you're going to glue your popsicle stick on there to make a puppet. So we're going to go ahead and do that too. Real quick, we're going to just glue our popsicle stick right onto our ant to make it a nice ant puppet. and push it down for a few seconds. You can count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you will have an ant puppet. Very cute, isn't it? Now your antenna up here, you can leave them straight if you want to, or since it's just paper, you can fold it into the front a little bit to make your antenna come down and sideways so you can see it from the side a little bit, where it just goes out like an antenna does sometimes. That's up to you. You can leave them straight or you can bend them. That's your choice. It's your ant. And I'm going to have to re-glue that. So friends, if yours is doing the same thing, you just re-glue it and count to 10. And it'll stay eventually. My other side stayed just fine, and my one from yesterday did too. So that one is just being silly. He just doesn't want to stay on there. There we go, friends. I hope you learned something about ants today. Ants live in colonies. They can make ant nests. They're small, but they still have families. And we did our numbers. We counted today, friends. We did sizing. We put our ants in order. We did a lot of fun things today, and I hope you had a lot of fun. Next week, we're going to talk about lightning bugs, also known as fireflies. Sometimes people will catch these in their backyard for a little bit to watch them glow in their hands. That's what we're going to talk about a little bit next week. So you guys have a great week and join us next week for the next story hour. Bye, everyone.